Welcome to Business Impacting the Space Coast, the podcast keeping you in the know on small business in Brevard County. Business Impacting the Space Coast is sponsored by Ideal Impact Media, your partner in video marketing and brand storytelling.
I'm with Christy Nail from Wayne Anthony Insurance. Now, Christy, you have been in the insurance business for a long time, working with your father. Tell me, how is that kind of coming up in insurance?
Well, it wasn't something that I thought when I was a little girl that I was going to grow up to be an insurance agent, but it's turned out to be really a huge blessing to be in the insurance industry. Insurance is something that everybody has to have, so if you own an auto, if you own a home, you're going to need that insurance.
It's been a blessing for you and your family. So tell me a little bit, what is the future of Wayne Anthony now that you've been taking on more and more responsibility? Where are you headed now that you're in Viera? You've been there for a while. And where did you come from? Where are you headed?
So the actual agency was owned by my father, Wayne Anthony, who is the Wayne Anthony Insurance. And he started off as a captive agent here in Brevard County in 1978. So his entire career has been based in our county. And at this point, he's looking forward to retirement, and I've been in the transition period of purchasing the agency. So going forward, we're really excited about the opportunities that lie ahead, because as an independent agent, we have flexibility in a market that tends to be very fluid.
In the insurance business, especially in Florida, we had 2 years of hurricanes. Finally, we have a lull here, and the auto market has been the most painful. So tell me, how have you been addressing that, and where do you see things headed?
The auto market is actually shifting. We were seeing in the homeowner market being a soft market, whereas the auto market was more of a hard market, and now it's reversing. So the auto market is becoming much more competitive. We ourselves are appointed with 6 different carriers, so we have a selection that we can go to and find out, who's the best fit for the insured and their household needs.
After 2 years of hurricanes, the losses some of these carriers have received on homes, paying for everybody's roofs for free, basically, right. They have decided that rates are going to go up, possibly, or some carriers are maybe leaving the state, or?
We're not really seeing anyone leave the state at this point, but we are seeing rate filing after rate filing. So pretty much almost every carrier is going to take a rate increase. Brevard is considered a coastal county, so we can be prepared for that. And the other issue that affects Florida is the assignment of benefits, or AOB. So we're seeing rates just continue to hike because of that. So the homeowner market is definitely going to become a much more stringent market right now.
Yeah, and I know the state legislature is trying to possibly pass something concerning assignment of benefits, but continues to fail. And so that comes back on to the insurance companies, because if a homeowner doesn't understand and they sign one of those assignment of benefits for a roofer or a mold mitigation company, the homeowner really loses all control, and their carrier pays it. But at the end of the day, it's going to come back on the loss runs of that homeowner, and it's going to impact the entire industry and the ability of agents like yourself to be able to place them. It's caused a lot of problems. And
it has caused a lot of problems. It's caused a lot of problems for the homeowner, the public in general, and what people need to realize is insurance is a pool of risk, and we're all paying for each other's claims that are turned in.
Mm-hmm. What is one of the biggest misconceptions that you see, either from how the buying process works for insurance, or how claims work? What are you seeing? What is something in your long history with buyers?
What I see in the industry is there may not be as much proactive education with clients that there should be. So if you find an agency that's willing to take the extra 5-10 minutes to talk about your policy, talk about your coverages, there's a lot of coverages and there's a lot of options that are available on that policy. We think it's really important that as your agent, we take the time to learn about you and your household, what your insurance needs are during the process, the discovery process, because it's not one size fits all.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And as much as insurance is regulated, and there's a lot of things that can be cookie cutter, or at least that's what the commercials want you to believe from some of the captive agencies. You just save 15% if you sign up now. It is very specific to the risk and the assets of individuals, and then especially the more risk, the more assets you have, the more customization is required. Growing up in the insurance business, there has to be some things that was passed on. Tell me, how did Wayne Anthony, your father, what was his view on insurance, and what was the number one thing he passed down on you?
Well, one, other than the fear of God of getting into a car accident, the other applicable knowledge that he did pass down to me in this industry is you don't want to be insurance poor. So again, when you're talking to your client, you don't want to necessarily over-insure. You need to talk to them. You need to talk to them about what their budget is, what financial needs that they might have that need to be met, and meet those needs with the policy.
Buying insurance, people think that once they buy this policy, anything and everything that can possibly go wrong is going to be covered by the big bad insurance company. What are some things that you see are big frustrations or challenges with clients?
I think it goes back to educating the homeowner, that particularly homeowners that might purchase an older home that may have some deterioration that's already occurring to the home. I think it's important that as an insurance agent, really as an expert in the industry, that we educate that homeowner up front and are proactive with that approach so that they understand that their policy is not a maintenance policy. It's not a warranty policy. It is designed for something that is sudden and accidental.
Awesome. Christy, I really appreciate it. Where can people find you if they want to get a quote or get in touch with you or if they have questions on their policy?
Well, thank you for having me today. And we can be located at the corner of Murrell and Wickham. We're at 7331 Office Park Place, Suite 500. We have a website, anthonyinsurance.net, and you can find us on social media, so Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And you have some amazing commercials.
I do. They are fantastic.
And people should share them with their friends and family.
They absolutely should.
Business impacting the Space Coast, where Brevard gets down to business.